Hi everyone, ShadowWolf725 here. We're playing Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers edition some more. Usually I just jump right into Chrono Cross, but today we'll be playing the Radical Dreamers, the visual novel. So let me change my game category and share my stream, and then we'll continue. Then later on we'll have some Chrono Cross. I'll just keep the game as Chrono Cross. Okay, I finished sharing my stream, so let's play some Radical Dreamers. I will try and pronounce the subtitle, but I'm pretty sure I'd get it wrong. Okay. Okay, naming the character. Shadow. I hope the game audio isn't too loud. The old lady's tip-off was right on the money. The counter spell on the barrier round the outer walls. Oh, I had on autoplay, so it was too quick. I guess it must have been 3 years already since I first met Kid. Back then, I was just a wandering musician, traveling wherever my feet would take me, and wherever a few tunes would pay for a warm bed. It was in the Outlands in a town called Gregoria, where we first ran across one another, and since then she dragged me along on a whole bunch of adventures, and misadventures too. Ah, kid. She was the thief. And not just any thief. Just a few months shy of 17 and already renowned as one of the realm's greatest. What's more, she was archingly beautiful, stylish, a joy to be around, and a dab hand at campsite cooking, or so she liked to claim. The truth was a little different. Those bandits with hearts of gold you've heard about in stories, the ones who steal from the rich to give to the poor? Yeah, that wasn't kid style. She was short-tempered, prone to lying, bossy, and obsessed with money, and rarely did she care to listen to a single word anyone said to her. But she wasn't all bad, probably maybe sometimes. She had her moments anyway. I glanced over my shoulder to see a shadow hovering behind us, bleeding into the darkness like smoke. Miguel, also known as Miguel the Shade. He was Kid's partner, but even after 3 years, I still knew hardly anything about him. All I knew was that he was around 30 years old, and not much of a talker, but he was one heck of a mage. I heard that he and Kid had started working together way before I met her. He always covered the top half of his face with a mask, and I never seen what he looked like underneath. He was a man so mysterious that it sometimes seemed like he was an interloper from another world. It wasn't like Kid was exactly big on details about her past, but Miguel, he might as well not have had one. And Kid didn't seem to know much about her partner in crime either. What kind of man he was, what kind of life he'd lived before nothing. You might ask how exactly I wound up being a part of this merry band. Well, it's complicated. I guess you could say that life doesn't always turn out the way you think it will. Kid, who was heading up our little raiding party, suddenly stopped dead. Look lively, boys, we got company. We glanced around warily, as cold, cruel eyes emerged from the darkness. I heard a low growl. Dark shadows prowled through the night, surrounding us. A pack of wildcats. There must have been around about 10 of them. A thrill of fear ran down my spine. Flustered, I pulled my knife from my belt. Kid calmly shifted into a fighting stance. Watch yourselves. I don't reckon these buggers have been treated for rabies. The wildcats snarled and growled as they slowly closed in on us, drawing the noose tighter and tighter. Their eyes glinted in the darkness like fireflies, and strings of eager spittle dripped wet loose to the ground. Then one of them sent an almighty roar soaring to the moon, and the hunt was on. What was I gonna do? I attacked. I tried to use magic. I defended myself. I ran. I attacked. I slashed a nearby wildcat with my knife. The beast tried to leap clear, but I was already too close. I felt the blade make contact and was rewarded with a screech of pain. The wildcat jumped away, this time managing to put some space between us. It looked like I hadn't cut it very deeply. I stood my ground, changing my grip on my knife. on the knife and waiting for another chance to attack. Shadow, behind you! Panicked by Kid's warning, I whirled wildly around and came face to face with a pair of eyes blazing like hellfire. I attacked. I tried to use magic. I defended myself. In my panic, there was nothing I could do but stare at the gaping red maw of the wildcat grew closer and closer, gradually eclipsing my vision. My eyes were drawn to its yellow fangs, one of which was missing, and my senses were overpowered with the smell of rotting flesh. I saw myself disappearing into those dark, fleshy depths. And then something crashed into me from the side, sending me flying. The wildcat bit down hard on where my head had been only a second ago. There was a sound like a bear trap slamming shut, and then my shoulder exploded with pain. But I was lucky. Its claws had just caught me as I was thrown clear. I lay gasping where I'd been slammed into the ground. The wind knocked clean out of me. You bloody idiot. What were you doing just standing there? It was Kid. I lifted my head and from the corner of my eye saw her get nimbly back to her feet and square off with another wildcat. Struggling to force some air back into my lungs, I somehow managed to get my aching body back onto its feet. I was breathing heavily, the handle of my knife was slick with sweat, and I tightened my grip. With a kick like a bolt of lightning, Kid landed a clean hit on the flank of a nearby wildcat. It staggered before losing its footing, letting out a pathetic cry. But Kid had already moved in to finish it off. And then the roar of fire, a burning smell filled my nostrils, and next to me a shrill screech pierced the air. Miguel's fire spell engulfed the head of a nearby wildcat. It fled, darting off into the darkness like an arrow. I scanned the area. Only moments ago we had been surrounded, but now there wasn't a single wildcat left. Kid and Miguel had either sent the rest off with their tails between their legs, or put paid to them once and for all. You're dreaming if you think a pack of flea-bitten bogies? Sorry if I said that word wrong. It's gonna stop us, Lynx. Kid crossed arms and flashing a triumphant grin. Meanwhile, I was panting heavily, and it felt like my legs were about to give out from under me. I collapsed to my knees, overwhelmed by what I'd just been through. Phew. I'd taken a few hits, but I was fine otherwise. A couple of scars to talk about later, maybe, but nothing that would stop me carrying on. Are you hurt? Miguel looked down at me, his face expressionless as ever. No worries, Mag. He'll be alright, said Kid, barging in to get a better look at me. He may be a whining sock. He may be a whining sock. Oh, suck. Sorry about, I thought that was the word sock. Alright. Let me reread that part. He may be a whining suck, but it'll take more than a few scratches to kill this one. She was nothing if not sympathetic. But she was right. This was no time to be bemoaning my lot. We hadn't even reached the manor yet. I dabbed at my wounds with a tinged suture-soaked cloth and wrapped them with bandages, then looked up at the other two. We're just getting started. Sorry I'm out. You have to carry on without me. We're just getting started. I grinned back, putting a brave face on things. That's what I like to hear, Kid cheerily announced from close quarters. But then her eyes turned cold, like the cold glow of the moon in the night sky. It's gonna be a long night. I nodded, trying my hardest not to utterly lose myself in her pale blue eyes. Alright, let's get this show back on the road. She turned away and marched off deeper into the trees, without looking behind to see if Mia and Miguel were following her. Miguel, of course, was already right behind her, his unhurried... Then I said the word, making it seem as though nothing much had happened at all. I jumped back up to my feet to chase after them. I'd be in for even more trouble then. I bargained for if I got separated from them. The dark forest inside the manor's perimeter seemed to go on forever, a labyrinth of trees and boulders. The manor itself loomed in the distance, glowing over the vast grounds, and hidden within was the veritable mountain of treasure just waiting for us. Lord Lynx was the noble who ruled the remote territory of Regoria. He was also Kid's mortal enemy. We were there that night to steal a certain jewel he kept locked away in his most closely guarded vault, the Frozen Flame. The Frozen Flame was veiled in mystery. It was said to be imbued with an uncanny energy and possessed of a beauty and clarity that made it a priceless treasure. Countless thieves had tried to steal, and not one of them had come close to succeeding. Nor had any of them escaped the manor alive. And now it was our turn to try and sneak into this place of death, led by a girl who had the ambition to make the impossible possible, a hunger for vengeance that drove her onward, and a desire for riches that could never be satisfied. As we pressed on through the tree-filled darkness, the shadows gave way at last, revealing the true extent of the vast mansion. Finally, say your prayers, Lynx, 'cause we're coming for ya. Peeping to the overgrowth and the shadows of the trees, we made our way around the manor's walls in search of a means of entry. Eventually, we came to a terrace overlooking the garden. There were no signs of any guards nearby. The only thing surrounding the manor was an uncanny stillness. This will lead us straight into the west wing. Just as well. We don't have any business in the rest of the manor tonight, said Miguel, gazing up at the dark building towering over us in the night. Alright then, what are we waiting for? With that kid made to vault over the railing of the terrace. Stop, Miguel hissed sharply. Remember what we're here for. Our main target is the vault and the frozen flame within it. We focus on this above all else. Your vengeance is their secondary concern, agreed? Glancing over her shoulder, Kid replied with a reluctant, yeah, don't get your knickers in a twist. But if we happen to run into him, I'm gonna knock that Drongo's block off and neither you or anybody else is gonna stop me. Ha 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 ha. I guess Kid was going to get her way whether we liked it or not. Let's go, boys. The night is young. She cleared the railing with a springily hot, and vanished inside the manor. Okay. I glanced toward Miguel and nodded in silence. We followed Kid's lead and were soon inside Laura Lynx's lair. The darkness swallowed us whole. A corridor stretched off to the left and right from the terrace. It seemed equally dark and chilly in both directions. We decided to go right down the corridor. We decided to go left down the corridor. We'll go left. We pressed on through the darkness, down corridors that turned and twisted snake-like, this way and that. Everything around us was still and silent, and it felt strangely like we were being watched. We continued creeping cautiously down the corridors. Kid moved proudly and stealthily, like a cat stalking its prey. While in the shadows... Okay, that's kind of quick, trying to read that. Leading the group as usual, Kid suddenly stopped. What's that? She jabbed her finger at something in the darkness. Straining my eyes, I could see a pale white bundle of something shaking in the shadows. Huh. That's strange. I moved in front of Kid to try and get a better look. And then, suddenly the strange presence started crawling across the floor towards us at an unbelievable speed. I didn't have time to brace myself. The white figure reached my foot, then reared up to its full height. It was a skeleton. The skeleton and I stood face to face, its empty eye socket staring straight at me, or something to at least. What was I going to do? Retreat, tickle, assess the situation. The skeleton stooped over and leered at me. I was stunned by the strangeness of the gaze, coming from the two black pits of its skull. And then it leapt at me before I could react. Arg! I let out a scream. Its ribs loomed up in front of me. I shoved hard with both hands, desperately trying to loosen the firm hold it had taken on my head with both arms, and sent it crashing to the ground. It clattered to the floor in a pile of jumbled bones, but then I noticed its head was nowhere to be seen. Shadow, your hood! I reached up with a start to find the skull had clamped onto my hood with its tooth. What was I gonna do? I grabbed it and tried to pull it off. I tore off my hood. I freaked out. Damn it. It took too long. While I was panicking, the headless skeleton rose up and charged at me, holding its sword aloft, and then, my head exploded with stars as moved Miguel's. Oh, Magel? I'm trying to say that name right, but slammed into the back of my head. I grasped, and for a moment I thought I was going to pass out. The skull, meanwhile, shattered to pieces like an eggshell, Bits of broken bones scattered down from the top of my head. The rest of the skeleton froze mid-charge and fell apart. The bones lay motionless on the floor. Nice one, Mag. Yeah, thanks. You didn't have to kick me in the head, though. We're finished here. Let's get moving. Ow. I'd taken a few knocks, but I was alright. A scrape or two wouldn't stop me. Maybe you ain't such a drongo. After all, it just goes to show any old weirdo can make something of themselves if they put their mind to it. Kid's eyes glinted with mischief. We took the corridor leading from the left-hand side of the terrace, eventually arriving at an intersection with some stairs. The path to the right led down the stairs. The path to the left was a dark side passage, and the main corridor continued straight onward. We went down the stairs. We continued onward. We went into the side passage to the left. We turned back. We'll go down the stairs. Slowly we crept down the staircase, descending deeper into blackness as we went. At the bottom, the path split. The way to the left continued onto an atrium that resembled a sort of plaza, while the path to the right was a winding passageway that trailed off into darkness. Okay, we'll go into the atrium. Kid poked her head through the arch-shaped door and took a look around. Huh, it's big in here. Must be some kind of hall. We took a cautious look around, then entered one after another. The atrium was like a beautiful plaza, complete with a statue that doubled as a fountain. Pillars and arches lined the walls, and in the center was a small pool of clean water above which the statue stood. On the other side of the room, I could see another arched entrance, like the one we had come through. Ooh, that's cold. Kid was scooping up water from the fountain. I went over to her and, resting my hands on the edge of the marble basin, peered into the pool beneath. Shadows flickered under the water's surface. You reckon those fish are rare, as in valuable? Kid leaned right over the edge. I couldn't see the bottom. I wondered how deep it was. The shadow of one of the fish grew larger and larger. Whoa! Sensing danger, Kid leapt back from the edge. Clack! A fish leaped out from the water and snapped at her, its jaws bristling, with razor-sharp teeth. Its mouth closed shut on the air, where she'd been only moments before, and with a splash, the fish darted back under the water. Pteranodons, deadly carnivorous fish with razor-sharp teeth and powerful jaws that could snap a monster's horn in half. Staring in horror, I watched as the dark shadows began to gather in what little of the pool I could make out. The pteranodons must have detected prey. Soon the room was filled with the sound of splashing and snapping as the fish tuned at the water's surface. Bloody hell! Even Kid was uneasy. She took another step back. How many pteranodons were in the pool? The thought of what would happen if they all leapt clear of the water and attacked at once crossed my mind. A bed of cold sweat rolled down my forehead. Suddenly, the water coming from the statue turned crimson and shot out in a powerful jet that nearly touched the ceiling. Kid jumped back again. I just stood in shock, watching the torrent of water erupting from the statue. The scarlet waters continued to gush out from the fountain. The pool grew redder and redder and started to overflow. We looked on, entranced, but the spell was soon broken when we realized that the water was starting to flow faster and faster over the rim of the basin. The pteranodons began to jump and snap at the water's surface with bloodthirsty glee. I was brought to my senses by the dull, slapping sounds of pteranodons hitting the floor. We rushed to the exit on the other side. We rushed back to where we came. A bolted pail shot my cap, and I came close to fainting. I stood my ground as best I could, flickering away the pteranodon that had been in me. But soon a horrible ring of shadows began to circle the water around me. I was surrounded. What was I going to do? Hey, let's get out of here! In a panic, we splashed through the water back to the corner we came from. The fangs of pteranodon snapping at my legs, and I felt a searing pain, but I had to endure it if I had any hope of reaching the entrance. Breathing heavily, I finally found myself back in the corridor outside. Phew. That was a close call. So that whole thing was a trap, eh? Talk about twisted. Lynx is even more of a sick bastard than I thought. I was about to say he wouldn't have to be if I didn't. Oh, I was about to say he wouldn't have to be if he didn't have to guard against people like her breaking into his home, but I thought better of it. Well, at any rate, I think we can consider that a dead end. Let's go back. Defeated, we left the atrium. Something caused Kid to stop in her tracks. Hello, hello, what do we have here? She pointed to the side of the entranceway to the hall. I found myself face to face with a sculpture of an old man's face, with a truly phenomenal beard. The sculpture's eyes seemed to gleam with life. For a piece of marble, it seemed almost too realistic. It's the mouth of truth, announced Miguel. Or Magil? An enchanted statue that can tell when you're lying. If it catches you out, it'll bite your hands off. Miguel kept his explanation simple so that Kid wouldn't drift off before he got to the important part. Huh, so what's it doing here then? I suspect it's part of a greater mechanism. Stick your hands in its gob, do ya? Righto. Righto. Let's see what happens, shall we? With a mischievous glint in her eyes, Kid darted over and stuck her hands in the mouth without a moment's hesitation. She stood there for a moment waiting, but it didn't take long for her to get bored. Nothing. Suddenly I had an idea. Hey kid, who's the greatest thief who ever lived? Me of course, you dong. Durong? Kid answered without a moment's hesitation, and then suddenly her face twisted with pain. The teeth of the marble sculpture had clamped down on her hands. It bit me, she cried. Knock it off. Everyone knows it's the truth. Ow. No thank you. 1 second, let me deal with that bot. Then I'll continue reading the story. I'll reread this whole part. Okay, I've been reading a lot for the last 30 minutes, so let me hydrate, then I'll continue. Me, of course, you don't. The wrong. Wrong? I'm not sure how to say that word really. Kid answered without a moment's hesitation, and then suddenly her face twisted with pain. The tooth of the marble statue, of the marble sculpture, had clamped down on her hand. It bit me, she cried. Knock it off. Everyone knows it's the truth. Ow. The sculpture bit her again as soon as she spoke. Grr, you little... A cold sweat formed on Kid's forehead. The sculpture was tightening its grip. It won't let you go. It won't let go until you say something true. Despite the obvious urgency of the situation, Miguel was matter-of-fact as ever. Just say anything, Kid, anything, as long as it's the truth. Obviously, Kid wasn't listening. Instead, she just kicked awkwardly at the statue. Oh, Beardy, let go of me, bloody hands. She planted her feet either side of its mouth and tried her hardest to pull herself out. She heaved, kicked and stamped, grunted and strained. And then finally her hands popped free. I was taken aback by what I just witnessed and couldn't say a word. She told you it was the truth. Kid raised her hands in the air triumphantly, as if to demonstrate. I could see heavy bite marks. The sculpture hadn't come away from the struggle unscathed either. Kid's attempt to break free had left it cracked in several places. Miguel pointed silently at part of it. I went to take a closer look and saw a pile. I saw a pale, flesh-colored tongue. I expected, was supposed to put something there, commented Miguel. Something, what exactly? I replied. Kid stood there for a moment, lost in thought, and then she started to unload all the knickknacks she'd been carrying. It was a strange collection of odds and ends, pulled out from her pockets, her boots, and even from her braid. All right, Shadow, now it's your turn to have a go at that stupid statue. Kid grinned at me, holding her assortment of knickknacks out on the palms of both hands. I guess she decided that whatever further horrors the statue had in store, she'd rather not face them herself. Nice, Kid, real nice. Grumbling to myself, I reached out to pick an item. I chose a small silver mirror, a file, a centipede, a tube of lipstick, some dried grapes, a length of fine thread, a sizable petard, or however you say that word, a vellum scroll. Huh. We'll choose the centipede. Oh, that is just... What are you doing walking around with a centipede in your pockets? I reeled back in disgust. This isn't your pet or something, is it? Don't be the Shadow. It's a toy, not a pet. A toy, you could have picked something nicer. It is nice. Nice to giving people nasty surprises. Hee hee. She seemed to think this was an entirely reasonable attitude. Entirely reasonable to her, maybe. What was she doing with all this stuff? I reached for the rubber centipede. Trying not to think too hard about what I was doing, I stuck it into the mouth of truth, only for it to fall down the back of its throat. Shadow, you'll pay for this, growled Kid, staring daggers at me. Yikes, I'll get it back, I promise. Stealing my nerve, I reached into the mouth of truth. Suddenly my hair stood on end. It was licking my hand. The giant, uncanny tongue slopped back and forth across my fingers like I was a lollipop. Ugh, I'm gonna puke. Keep it together, Shadow. Do it for the centipede. Kid's support didn't do much to help me, but I somehow managed to pinch the centipede with the tips of my fingers and pull it out. You must really love this thing. Not really. I just hate to see stuff go to waste. I'm sorry, what? Why had I even bothered? Well, no luck there either. Want to try something else? Asked Kid, almost like this was the game. I just wanted this to be over with. I reached out for the next name and chose a small silver mirror, a file, sentiment, a tube of lipstick. We'll choose this. Anxiously, I shoved inside the mouth of truth, but nothing happened. Let the professionals handle this, Shadow. Kid shoved me aside. She was holding a match. Wait a second. You can't be serious. All the blood drained from my face. Deadly serious, mate. Before I could say another word, Kid lit the fuse. An explosion followed, accompanied by a puff of white smoke. When the smoke had cleared, the mouth of truth came into view once more, still intact, but now very badly cracked indeed. Not quite enough oomph to knock its block off. Should have brought a bigger one. Kid stood there with her paused. What do you think you're doing? I can't believe you just set that thing off like that. Kid shot me a look. What do you mean? What else are you going to do with a bomb? She was a complete and utter liability. Well, any more ideas, Shadow? Kid asked. Asked Kid, breezily. I choose. Do you have another one? I'm curious, does it just repeat the same thing if I chose the same option? Okay, the same dialogue is repeated. Okay, it is the same dialogue, so let's try another item. This is a fun visual novel. We'll choose, a Valium scroll. I picked up the peculiar piece of parchment. Sorry, try to say that word. Peculiar piece of parchment. Bracing myself, I shoved it into the mouth of truth. Ha ha ha, nice one, Mr. Master Thief. You think it's the magic scroll or something? Kid doubled over with laughter. Guess that didn't work. With a sheepish chuckle, I pulled it out again. Oops, my hand slipped, and the scroll unfurled. It was filled with strange symbols. Noticing the confused look on my face, Miguel spoke up. It's a decoding chart, used for the Imperial Guard's field reports. Huh? Well, it's all gibberish to me. Wouldn't be much of a code if it wasn't, would it? Kid muttered. Huh? Witheringly? I was too embarrassed to reply. Once I clawed back some of my pride, I attempted a recovery. You'll, have to walk me through it sometime. She just pouted and looked away. Oh, so you can't read either. Boy, can I pick any moments. Oh, wait. Oh, so you can't read it either. Boy, can I pick my moments. Fine, if you're not going to take this seriously, we're leaving you behind. Sometimes she could be cold as ice. I really done it now. She made to leave, but I grabbed her gently by the shoulder. Look, I'm not messing around. I'm sure the next idea is going to work. I'll believe it when I bloody well see it. Kid didn't seem convinced. The stakes were high. I looked again at her collection of knickknacks and chose. I picked up the small, liquid tube of lipstick. and without knowing quite why, smeared it all over the statue's mouth. What are you, me lippy? Could explode with fury at the sight of the mouths of Truth's bright red lips. What are you getting so mad about? You don't even wear makeup. It's for marking our path to make sure we don't get lost. Huh, I didn't realize. Guess that would explain why you brought it with you. And what exactly is that supposed to mean? What's so funny about me having lipstick anyhow, grr? Gulp, nothing at all. It didn't take much to tell this was the calm before the storm. You better buy me some more when we're done here. Yep, she was mad, all right. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's just try something else. Kid gave me a doubting glare in response to my apology. Take this seriously or I'm through with you. I gulped and nodded in panic, then reached out for the next item I chose. I took the piece of thread, a length of very finely spun silk. It didn't seem like a good idea to just shove it in. So I tried dangling it into the statue's mouth. Watch yourself. That stuff ain't cheap. It's made by royal silkworms, I'll have you know. Kid watched me critically. The thread slipped deeper and deeper into the mouth of Truth, and then I felt a slight tug. I tried winding it carefully back around my finger. At the end of it was a small piece of paper. Nice one, Shadow. That's gotta be a clue. Kid's eyes lit up with delight. The note says try again. We stood in stunned silence. You licky, tricky piece of gar. He ripped up the paper in a rage and threw it away, then started kicking the mirror Truth. Miguel was leaning against the wall watching the spectacle in silence. I'm guessing that wasn't the one then. What's next? I chose. Okay, we've tried this, we tried this, we tried this, we tried the centipede, the lipstick. We'll try the grapes. I took a small bag of dried grapes. One by one I fed them into the sculpture's marble maw. Munch. Ugh, it actually ate them. That's enough, Chef. Those are my emergency rations. You're wasted. Kid snatched the bag from my hands. I still had the last grape, though, so I popped it into my mouth. It was absolutely delicious. They're not for you either, Sunshine growled, Kid, glaring at me. You gotta take this seriously, Shadow, or should I leave you alone with Beardy here? She was clearly annoyed, but I hadn't worn her patience completely then just yet. I decided to try something else. I chose. Okay, so the only two things we have left are the file or the small silver mirror. I took the file and placed it inside the mouth of the marble sculpture. It didn't seem to be the right item for the job. Crunch, crunch, crunch. I was stunned. The mouth of Truth had started chewing on the file. It was eating it. Arg! Kid screamed with rage. Me file. Me lovely, scratchy, scrappy file. I can't believe you just let that happen. Crunch. You're in big trouble now, mate. She was clenching her fist, trembling with fury. So sorry, I'll get you another one, I promise. I also wanted, just don't hit me, but then I thought better of it. I'll hold you to that, muttered Kid in a threatening grumble. If you're just gonna feed the statue on me stuff, we're done here. I promise that's not what I'm trying to do. You better bloody not be, mate. I promise that's not what I'm trying to do. You better bloody not be, mate. Once again, she showed me her collection I chose. Okay, the small silver mirror. I took the small silver mirror. The sculpture stared impassively. Its marble beard still commanding my attention. I stuffed the mirror into its mouth. It didn't seem to be the right item for the job. Don't see any cavities. Yeah. Very funny. Now give me my favorite mirror back before that thing chops it to pieces. She lost her patience and snatched it off me. It was a rather nice mirror. I pictured her gazing into it as she braided her hair. Do you want to try something else? Asked Miguel dryly. I chose. Okay, we tried everything, so not waste my time on this. I lingered for a moment, but pulled my hands away. It didn't seem like any of them was what we were looking for. Alright, let's just forget about it for now, muttered Kid, stowing all her valuables. I was sure we'd find a use for this stuff. Whatever, best get moving, eh? Defeated, we left the atrium behind us. Leaving the atrium behind us, we immediately found ourselves at a fork in the path. To the right was the passage to some stairs leading upward. A dark passageway continued on directly ahead of where we stood. We continued along the path ahead. Kid stopped in her tracks, signaling to us with a hand behind her back. She drew her knife and stared into the darkness. We heard the clanking of metal from just up ahead. Goblin guards. It wasn't likely there'd be anything else going for a nighttime stroll. No, let me reread it. It wasn't like there'd be anyone else going for a nighttime stroll around the manor wearing armor. I suggested a tactical retreat. I drew my knife and readied myself. I picked up on the situation pretty quickly and drew my knife, preparing for a fight. Kid gave me a sideways glance. You know something? You're starting to look like a real thief. Now you just need to walk the walk, she grinned. Alright, Chow. Miguel, let's get him. Kid leapt forward, confident as ever. It was like she thought nothing could go wrong. There were 5 of them in total. They weren't any ordinary goblins, though, having been well looked after in the I didn't know how to say that word. Okay, I'm just gonna skip that word. Manor. They've grown to be even bigger than Miguel, or Magil. Each of them was carrying the Manor's Goblin's trademark. Morningstar Cross. Dang it. Consisting of a rod and a heavy spike iron ball on a chain. Wait, or is it a flail? I never could remember, and I didn't have time to think much more about it. A goblin came rushing at me, swinging its spiked ball chain. I held down my knife in front of me in an attempt to parry the attack somehow. Suddenly the goblin disappeared. I looked to the side to see it buried in the wall, arms and legs. Akimbo, I think that word is. Did he really expect to stop a Morningstar with only a knife? Your stupidity will get you killed. Oh, your stupidity will get you killed. Magil turned to face down 2 more of the goblins. I grabbed the fallen goblin's weapon and prepared to finish it off. I grabbed the morning star with both hands and swung it down with all my might. Wham! There was a dull thud as the iron ball crushed into the goblin's helmet. It wouldn't be getting up again anytime soon. I looked at Kid. Kid was squaring off against two of the goblins. Their dull, lumbering attacks couldn't touch her as she deftly sidestepped each and every one, striking back nimbly with a knife held in both hands. That was Kid style, flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. But stings is made for tough going against enemies that can really take a beating. Both goblins were covered in cuts, but their attacks were as powerful as ever. I rushed in to help Kid deal with one of them. The enemy hadn't noticed me yet. I took my time and chose my target. I attacked it with the morning star I picked up. I gripped the morning star with both hands and swung with all the strength I could summon. Wham! There was a dull thud as the spiked iron ball crashed into the goblin's helmet. It should have knocked the creature clean out, but it was still standing. The goblin turned around, its own morning star dangling from its hand. Its eyes were twitching madly. I'm in for it now, I thought. But then its pupils rolled up into the back of its head and it crashed lifelessly to the floor. I breathed a heavy sigh of relief. Are you okay, Kid? She wiped the blood off her knife, not saying a word in response. Then she shouted, she did, or whatever that word is, and took a step towards me. There was a terrifying look on her face. I was sure I was about to get yelled. Oh, let me reread that. Then she soothed it and took a step toward me. There was a terrifying look on her face. I was sure I was about to get yet another earful. She cast a glance at the goblin on the floor. The iron ball was deeply embedded in its skull. Blimey, that must have hurt, she muttered. Then she looked back at me. Never used a morning star before, have you? Could have just as easily knocked your own block off swinging it around willy-nilly like that. Be more careful next time, alright? I thought she was going to yell at me like usual, but there was something almost nice about the way she was telling me off. Thanks, she said softly into my ear, and I felt something warm and soft on my cheek. Oh, she gave him a kiss on the cheek. Wait a second, what's that? There was a leather bag on the ground, containing a sparkling gem. Now we're talking. Kid's face lit up with joy. Nice find, Shadow. What a beaut. Kid snatched it away, leaving me to settle for the compliment. Phew. I'd taken a few knocks, but I was alright. A scrape or two wouldn't stop me. Maybe you ain't such a drongo after all. Just goes to show, any old weirdo could make something of themselves if they put their mind to it. Kid's eyes glinted with mischief. We left the atrium and continued on down the path ahead. Eventually we came across an orient door on the right-hand side. Something smelled fresh and pleasant. Flowers, was it, coming from inside? We went inside. We found ourselves in a tidy, welcoming room. The knickknacks and curios dotted around the place seemed to be well loved. The stately desk and the cozy-looking bed nearby. Meanwhile, suggested the room's occupant was no stranger to luxury. Through the room was richly though the room was richly furnished, some of it still felt awfully lonely. Kid took a quick look around before commenting. It's Lynx's girls' room. A half-written letter on the desk and a teacup still warm suggested that the lady of the manor was still nearby. But it didn't seem that anyone was here now. We decided to search the room. Some charming flowers, a discarded cotton handkerchief, a small bottle of perfume. Nothing that meant much to me, nor anything that seemed particularly valuable. Kit seemed to have the same impression, and scanned the room clearly, not expecting to find anything. The only item of note was a small antique box, which bore a crest resembling a viper. I decided where to look next. Okay. Let's save the game, and let's now switch to Chrono Cross. Fun visual novel. Radical Dreamers. Okay, easily load the game. Okay, we're back on this screen. Loading Chrono Cross. Okay, I'm gonna hydrate while the opening cutscene plays. Okay, now time to save. The Hydra Marshes. Why, if it isn't Shadow Wolf? Didn't the village elders tell you not to come near here? Do you have some kind of business here? Ah, so you notice. That's a rare plant you only find growing in the Hydra Marshes. If you touch it and talk to it, it bends backwards for a little while to form a bridge. I think the dwarves may have planted them. See how they're strategically placed? I believe. Oh no, it's using Toxic Burst. Cool, we won. Lucia, Shadow Wolf, what are you doing? Just standing there, in a daze like that. We have not got time to spare. Let's keep moving. Oh, we have been poisoned. Everybody down! Something big is heading our way. What was that thing? I cannot believe this place. Full of some treasure. Shadow Wolf found Brace. Did you just see a strange-looking creature up ahead? This Biba, no place for humans. Biba, go away. Biba off. Okay, let's speed up combat. Oh no, it's calling more allies. Well, more experience. Time to use some special attacks. Time for some dash and slash. Okay, elements. Magma Bomb! Magma Bomb once more! And victory! Biba, really sorry. Here, I give you this. Please forgive Biba. This Biba flute that is handed down in the Biba family. It's Biba magical. It calls Wingapede. It makes Wingapede Biba good Wingapede. It's best to Biba used in a wide open space. Well, a Biba's seeing ya. We got the Biba flute. Why do you not try blowing the flute here, Showolf? Let's save the game. And the game is saved manually. This Biba, the wrong place. This isn't the wide open space I was talking about. That's funny. I don't like humans, but I don't hate them either. I just like strong beings, no matter what species they be. Which might you be? Strong as Mr. Universe, weak as Mr. Puniverse. Let the challenge commence. I'm gonna hydrate so I'll let it autoplay a bit. Okay, turning off auto combat. Time for some dash and slash. Arrow saucer +2. Electric jolt +1. Three enemies to go in this battle. Magma Bomb. Photon Ray +2. Wanda in. One enemy to go. Iceland, let's go. Uplift. Magma Bomb. And victory! That Biba is quite fun. I'll give you the treasure behind me. Hasta la Biba, baby. Cool. Okay, not this place for the blue. I know where it is. Here's the place for the blue. A wide open space. Could this be it? Shadow, why do you not try blowing the flute? So this is the Wingapede. The Vingapede? It is actually smaller than I thought. Shadow Wolf, why do you not try feeding it something? Hi Tigrants, welcome in. I'll just let this battle autoplay a bit while I give you a shout out. I hope you had a fun stream, so what are you playing? Congrats on that, Tigrants, making it through the first floor boss. The footholds could give way at any moment. Bennett, Shadow Wolf, we should avoid passing through the middle. What? Who would have thought there would be a cavern inside this tree? Agreed, some of those ultigames are way tough and are pretty bad. Save states do make it easier. A cavern inside this tree, let alone this big old monster. Well, at least it serves as a cushion to break our fall. Otherwise, that would have hurt. If only 5 legs here wakes up, we could be in a lot of trouble. We should try and get out of here while we still can. Cage Fairy. Hey Shadow Wolf, is that really a fairy? I have never seen one before. We cannot just leave her trapped like this. Let's help her out. Wait right there, my darlings. Do you think you could walk out of here alive and with my dinner too? Come to think of it, it's been years since I wrapped my sweet tentacles around. Okay? I'm not reading that. You'll make a fine main course to go with that delicious, okay? You should consider it an honor to be the dinner guest of Madame Pensib, okay? I'm not reading that name. I do not believe this. It is just one battle after another. But this time, we are trapped in a hole with no way out. We haven't got no choice but to fight. Dash and slash. I need to upgrade my weapons. Magma Bomb! Uplift! Gravity Blow! And victory! We got an Aqua Ball! Thank you for rescuing me. You're kind of strong for human folk. I was surprised. Let me introduce myself. My name is Razily. I come from Water Dragon Island. I think you can tell by just looking at me, but I'm a fairy. I guess you could say it's very obvious. Tee-hee-hee. I have heard rumors about that island. They say that due to the abnormal weather, they have been having their water source has dried up. But that was in the other world we just came from. I wonder if it is the same thing in this world. Huh? Our water source has dried up in this world? I don't understand what the fairy godmother's name you are talking about. Shadow Wolf, perhaps we had better explain. Geez, so there's another world? And you've come to these marshes in this world to save your friend in the other world. Yes, you seem to have got it, but actually Shadow Wolf is originally from this world. We do not expect you to believe us, but it's true. We traveled through a wormhole to your world. We need the Hydra Humor to make the medicine that will save our friend. There sure is a Hydra in this forest. I saw with my very own eyes. But that's when those big noses caught me and threw me in here to become okay, not saying that name of the enemy, bait. I want to go home to my island, but it's too far for a fairy like me to fly on my own. Gee, how about taking me along with you? Razily joins your party. Okay, keep the name. We'll switch out our party for a bit. Shadow Wolf found recover all. Jump down? Yes. Time for another victory in combat. We better pick up that treasure. We got our saucer. Dash and slash. Headbutt. Star. Okay, that just killed the enemy, I'm pretty sure. And victory! Time for some special moves. Oh, Electro Jolt 1. That did some good damage. One more enemy to go. Hey, Magma Bomb. I know the enemy healed. Dash and slash. Another victory. Hey, a save point. Cool. Ooh, treasure. Okay. I'm gonna refill my beverage, and I'll be back in a minute. So I like this battle autoplay. Okay, I'm back. Time for more combat. Time for another victory. Dash and slash. What's this in the treasure chest? We got an antidote. I wonder if we're getting closer to our destination. I believe we are. It's been a while since I played this. One more enemy to go. We found a bone. Wait, is that for what I think it is? No. We found a cure. Might as well avoid combat for a little bit. Okay, that wasn't the correct path forward yet. Halt, humans, we cannot permit you to advance any further. The Hydra is the tutelary deity of this forest. Hi-ho, I mean. Without it, this forest will die. Should you still wish to advance, you will have to get by us. Prepare for battle, wicked humans. Interesting battle. And victory! Now on to battle the Hydra. Too strong. Are we unable to stop them? The Hydra must be up ahead. Let's go, Shadow Wolf. You will be fuller of the forest. Human vermin, prepare to receive the anger of nature that you so deserve. Hi-ho. Oh, great Hydra, hear my voice. Turn on these wretched humans. Teach them how the forests know our planet is pained by their existence. Hi-ho, Hydra. Away. The shore as hell ain't my world. I can't believe there's a Hydra before my eyes. It's coming. That's some good damage. Okay, electric damage heals the Hydra. Good to know. Magma Bomb! So many attacks are being missed. Gravity Blow. And victory! We have the antidote we need to save Kid. We have what we needed to make the antidote to save Kid. What do you humans intend to do with our mother planet? Not thinking of the future, cutting down trees like there's no tomorrow, burning the forest to make your towns even bigger, and all for what? Do you think that you are the only ones who live on this planet? Do you even know what life forms other than yourselves get up to? Hi ho, hi ho. Don't kid yourselves. You are just hairless apes, or worse. Hi ho. You are nothing more than freaks of evolution. Hi ho, ugh. It's fairly sad, but I can understand what he means. Why, we fairies are forest dwellers too, but I don't think all humans are bad. I'm sure that there are many human folk who love greenery and are kind to the smallest of life forms. I believe that is true. Shadow Wolf received Hydra humor. Wait, Shadow Wolfie. This Hydra is carrying newborns in her womb. The Hydra isn't extinct, and this forest isn't going to die as long as there is life. All that may be left is a small, fragile life force, but this forest will make it. There's not a single dwarf remaining. Whoops. There's not a single dwarf roaming this forest anymore. Have they abandoned this place? Let's hurry. All of a sudden, the forest seems different. I can't really pinpoint why, though. Time to head to the other worlds and save Kid. I love that transition. Terminal. Gotta head back, full speed. Return to Goldove. Hey, we're about to save Kid. Lucia, you're back in the party. Let's rush that over to the doctor right away. Come on, you guys, hurry too. Don't give up hope. We will do our best to save her. Oh, it's you dudes. The patient's strength is at its limit without the antidote. Can this be Hydra you more? But how? We'll discuss that later. As long as we have this, making an antidote will be easier than catching a wave. We can save the girl with this. We will prepare an antidote right away. Nurse, help me with the preparation. Stat. I have no idea where in the world you found this, nor do I know who you really are. But now is not the time to ask such questions. You have done your part. Now you can leave the rest to me. You heard the doc. We've done all we can. Just trust him and wait. It's already close to nightfall. Doc, how is she? Will she be alright? Yes, she has passed the critical period. There are no signs of complications from the poison. The girl has held up well, but only thanks to you dudes. You have done the impossible by finding the antidote. I still cannot believe it. You with the red bandana. You are Shadow Wolf, correct? She would like to speak with you. It will be a little while longer before she falls asleep from the anesthetic. Will you speak with her, dude? I will be in the room next door, so call me when you need me. And do not forget that even though the poison is gone, she has not completely recovered. Well then, catch you later, dude. You've become bloody handsome while I was out of it. I don't know all the details, but I heard what happened from the doc. Looks like there's been a lot going on while I was asleep. I guess it proves that you can take care of yourself now, eh? Oh, Shadow Wolf, you did good, mate. Why don't you look cheerful for a change? Huh, I would have been alright without any antidote at all. Screw with. Now I owe you one. Shadow Wolf, thanks. A world different from our own? That is far out, man. That there really is such a thing. And you dudes are from this other world, I presume? Just to make it clear, Doc, the only one from that world. Sorry, let me reread that. I was reading too quick. Just to make it clear, Doc, the only one that's from that other world is Shadow Wolf. All the others, including myself, are from this world. We're all with him for different reasons, though. I'm from the same world as Shadow Wolfie, too. Whoops, my bad, I totally forgot. Come to think of it, the first time we met you was in the Hydra Marshes. Yes, if Shadow Wolfie hadn't come and saved me, I would have been in big trouble. Another world, so I suppose some things are slightly different. The Hydra Marshes are a good example of this. Otherwise, we would have never found a Hydra in this world. Parallel worlds never seek to cross each other, yet existing alongside one another. Hey Doc, let's not think too deeply about this. There isn't any easy way to explain it, even after going through it. Myself, I still doubt what I saw. Let's just drop the theories. The girl's been saved. That's all we need to know, right? Ha 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 ha. That's very like you, Korcha. But he's got a point, Doctor. Ai's life has been saved. I don't think we need to think about anything further for the time being. Well, I guess you are right. I cannot find an answer to this, but I think about it on my own. It is pretty late. We have been talking for quite some time. Let's call it a night. One good day's rest should be enough to let her get up and hang a 10. What you gonna do, Shadow Wolf? You already found a way back to your own world, right? You could just go back home and live a peaceful life, pretending that nothing ever happened. But can you really forget everything you've seen here? And can you live with yourself if you turn your back on us? Okay, seeing that again. What are you gonna do, Shadow Wolf? Huh. Okay, let me think for a second. So I'll take a sip of my soda. I want to say go back home to see what happens. I usually never choose that. I usually choose I won't go back yet. What's... Shadow Wolfie, are you sure you're going to be satisfied with that? Think about it, Shadow Wolf. Why did you take the trouble to cross the worlds to help I? It was not just because you wanted to go back to your world, right? You had other reasons to come back to this world. I see, then I'll stick around with you a little longer. But just don't slow me down, you hear? I don't know what happened 10 years ago, but it looks like Viper's mob has got something to do with it. Let's go after him. I need to go bash up that Lynx character and get my hands on the frozen flame. Lynx, he stole something precious from me. He's taken away my future. I'll find him no matter what it takes. Portrait, I heard that you helped in the search too. It was nothing. Yeah, well, thanks to nothing. At one point I thought we were doomed for sure, but looks like it's all settled now. All that's left is to take you guys back to Termina, right? My job ends there. You got a special discount price of 300 gold for the round trip. Sorry, but I need to make a living too. Ha ha ha, you're pretty damn shrewd, eh? I shouldn't have thanked you earlier. What is it? You're looking for something? Yeah, well, the elements I had, the grid are gone. Shadow, did you remove the elements from my grid? If it wasn't you, then who did? The only ones looking over you while we were gone were the doc and the nurse. They should be in the room next door. So let's ask them when we head out. The doc should know something. I hope you're right. Mel, what you doing? Hey, Blondie, if you want your stuff back, I challenge you to catch me. What is it, dude? Is Mel up to something again? Well, yeah, the same old mischief, but this time she's gone too far. Dude's that idiot. What is she thinking? I don't get it. I'm sorry about her, I'll get the stuff back from her later, so go easy on her, alright? That's no problem. It ain't anything I'll suffer without anyway. Not to be rude, but I don't have time to play around with brats. I gotta go chase after Lynx. What is it, Shadow Wolf? You need those elements. Well, you're not wrong, but Corta said that he'd get them back later. We don't have time to waste, ain't that right? Shadow Wolf, come on, mate, let's go. No, let's go after Mal. Alright, if you insist. Okay then, let's go find that brat right away. Time ain't gonna wait for us. That's the plan, Corta. Why don't you help us out a bit? It'll be over a lot quicker that way. Gotcha. We have to find Mel. Yes, Mel, she hasn't come by here today. Has she done something again? What did she do this time? Did she write graffiti on the walls again? Well, it's nothing big. If she isn't here, that's okay. We're a small village, but we have some rare elements you won't find in bigger towns. Maybe next time. You may not enter the shrine now. Come back a little later. It shouldn't be that long. What brings you here, Corta? It's rare to see you come out to this tower. Oh, never mind that. By the way, have you seen Mal around here? We're looking for her right now. Mal? No, I haven't seen her today. Have you tried the residential tower? So she hasn't come this way, thanks to the info. As you've just heard, she hasn't come this way. The only place left is the residential tower. Well, there's the C2, but that's not likely. Once we corner, it's all over. Let's go. Would you like to become the wind? Oh, that's too bad. Yep, no zipline use right now. Fortunate, huh? Mel's heading for the residential tower. We've got her cornered now. Okay, let's go. We should find her in no time. This is the end. There's no place to run. So, what are we gonna do? If all three of us barge in at once, she's gonna escape. There are 3 exits from the tower. If we each go in through a different exit, there's no escape. Portia, listen up. Don't you dare let Mel get outside. Leave it to me, bro. All I have to do is stop Mel getting out of this exit, right? Yep, I'm counting on you. Now there are 2 exits left. We'll even end up with some manpower to spare. It's game over, Mel. Let's do it. Wow. You idiot, that's what you get for messing with my customers. I'm not gonna forgive you just because you cried. That should be enough. We've got my stuff back, and there's been no harm done. Even so, we have to teach the kids some proper manners. You never know when she might do it again. Don't worry about such minor stuff. I say it's already forgiven. Let's just leave it at that. Besides, the little uns got some guts to steal from a member of the Radical Dreamers. Ha ha ha. Hey, don't you call me a little un. I've got a name too. You know, it's Mel. Ooh, feisty, so she's got real spirit too. But weren't you just crying just now? Or were you just faking it? I tell you, she's gonna be a real mean one when she grows up. Ha ha ha. What you mean by that? Whoops, I guess you're still just a little on. Don't worry, just forget it. Arg. Oh. I said, don't you call me a little on. Hey, are you sure you want to leave it at that? I just don't getcha. Oh well, no use bothering with it now. Then I'll go ahead and wait for you at the docks. Come and find me when you're ready to go. Alright, let's get a moving then. Mel won't cause any more mischief, but promise to play with me again. Do you want to become the winds? Become the winds. Hey, 5G. Thanks. Okay, ready. Have a safe flight. You want to go back to Termina? Yep, back to Termina. Okay, let's go. It was nice knowing you, but this is goodbye. Portia left your party. Here we are in Termina. You're on your own from here. The general and his men are headed for Fort Dragona. There has been word that the major power of the East Port is up to something suspicious. They seem to have heard rumors of the Frozen Flame being in El Nido and are coming to investigate. Then that means the poor army might invade this town any time now. I wonder if we will be alright. Yes, that is why we are moving to the fort for a while. That fort is far from town, so it is not used normally, but it has good defenses. I was ordered to remain at the manor and protect Miss Riddle, but she felt very uneasy about the way General Viper was acting before he left, so... Oi, Shadow, did you hear that? While I was snoozing away in Godove, Lynx and his mob hightailed it out of the manor. That fort's supposedly a ruin built by the extinct Dragonians. I heard there've been all kinds of mystic rituals there. It's said that the dragon tier was needed for the rituals. Bloody bastards. What are they up to now? Shadow, this is no longer just our problem. If we don't stop these buggers now, they're gonna cause a major hell around here. Fort Dragona is on top of Mount Pyre, southeast of here. It will be hard to get there by land, so the question now is how are we going to get a boat? Blonde braids, a blood-red blouse. That sounds like the description of the thief from the Radical Dreamers. And that red bandana, he is just like the ghost Crash was describing. So what, do you want to take us on or something? Sorry, Dory, but we're in a bit of a rush to that Fort Dragona of yours. What business do you have at the fort? That makes me even more suspicious. I will draw my sword if need be. Oh, Glenn, stop that. Your brother would never have drawn his sword in such circumstances. Leave my brother out of this. Oh, don't get your knickers in a knot. I don't care if you draw your sword or whatever. I ain't stopping for you. See ya. Alright, forgive me for my rash behavior. I really have no interest in who you are. Really, I only want to know the truth of what is happening here. I shall follow my own way to find the truth. If you intend to go to the fort, I would offer you a word of advice. When you get on your boat, first head north and then east. You should find a small island there. A retired dragoon now lives there. Find him next for his advice. There are many frightful rumors about that fort. You know, you never know what to expect there. All we need to do now is find a boat. Let's get a move on. I wonder. Astral amulet used. I would go through the mountains and the pass. So I can't get a van until I'm playing as Lynx. Okay, let me save my game. Then we'll head back to the other world. I love this RPG. It was fun playing some of the visual novels of Radical Dreamers before this, continuing this playthrough of Chrono Cross. Let's get Corch's help. Can we talk with Riddle? Can I get her in my party? Okay, no combat. Into the forest. We got a Roma pouch. We got an uplift. You guys need to cross the sea? Then I might think about lending you my boat, on 2 conditions. With that clunky boat of yours, I don't think we're gonna survive a round trip. But I guess this ain't the time to be picky, so Corcher, what are your conditions? First, if you ever find the dragon tier, give it to me. The other condition is, once all this ruckus is over, I want you to mumble. What was that? Stop mumbling and speak up. I can't hear you. I want you to be my wife. Huh? What did you just say? I said I want you to be my wife. Oh, Corcher, don't mess with me. I'm gonna kick your arse so hard you'll kiss the moons. I'm not joking. To tell the truth, I am. It was love at first sight. Oh yeah? Know who I am, don't you? You know who I am, don't you? Yeah, you're some kind of thief, ain't you? I don't care about your past, and I don't want you to feel forced. We can wait until all this fuss is over, so please. Just tell him that you will. Shadow Wolf, this is none of your business, it's my own problem. Okay, understood. But this ain't something I can agree to on a whim. I'll consider it, but not until I settle the score with Lynx. That's about the best I can promise. I can't guarantee you anything more. Alright, that's all I need for now. Okay, I'll lend you the boat. What was that Glenn guy saying earlier? Something about going to see an old man on a small island to the east. Hey, you be careful with yourself from now on. Just remember that your life is not just your own anymore. You're carrying my wife-to-be. Brr, goosebumps. Do you want me to come with you? Let's take him. Corcha joins party. And, yep, all good. Okay then, I'll be heading home now. Remember that I'm just lending you my boat. Don't you dare sink it, take care. And he swam home. Board the boat? Okay, let's go. So Viper's Manor. Hey, treasure. Whoops, it happened again. Going slow motion. I got this. Slow motion. Huh. Okay, we're in Viper's Manor. Oh my goodness. That night, you are the ones whom I risked her life to shield me. My father and his men have left for Fort Dragona. I do not know exactly where he is though. There is not a single thing I can do, except pray for their safety. Okay? Okay, thanks for watching everybody. So I'm gonna end stream here today. Next time we'll be making our way to Fort Dragonia. Alright, let me look for someone to raid out to. I know who I want to raid it into. I just need to see if they're still alive. Their name's Lucilia.